I love that when I was young, when I was small,
when I was a kid,
when I was 10,
we lived in a house in Bangalore,
in India,
in Australia, even 10-year-olds wore mascara. Money, mascara, mummy.
Never liked the smell of durian on Daddy's breath, so we would sit at the boy deck. Finish the ice cream first before heading home. Sunday was always ice cream day. Daddy
Would wake me up on a chilly morning.
because it wasn't good to have ice cream without having a proper meal first. So breakfast for Daddy was scrambled eggs and toast, honey stars with chocolate milk for me.
I'd get ready as she packed sandwiches and fruits in the kitchen.
Grandma's homemade soup, agar-agar, and chicken curry. I can still recall the taste, the aroma. Grandma always smelled of her cooking. The kitchen still smells like Grandma.
We'd hop into the rented Kia and I'd turn the radio on to full blast. Ronan Keating's Life's a Roller Coaster is our Australia song. Let's get lost, she'd say.
I don't want you to get lost, he said. So he had bodyguards follow me and my cousin, Siley, everywhere we went, even in school. When my uncle was kidnapped, he sent me away in fear of losing me.
The middle of the sunset, a whimsical little town where people hung boots on a clothing line, rolling hills of green, pink, yellow, and purple. Lavender makes the hill purple, she explained. I miss driving with Mummy and getting lost. No matter how far we went, the map always brought us back home.
When I got home that day, he did not ask me, and I did not say anything either.
He asked me for the accounts, but I did not know what to say. He kept asking me over and over again. He knew, so I confessed.
I blurted it out. I climbed up using a chair to get money from the jar.
I wanted to buy myself something from the bookshop.
It was $10. My classmate said that her mother was sick and needed to go see the doctor. I hid under the bed and Daddy went to find the broom. He held it up high and struck me.
With a cane.
It was painful. She threw me inside the big rubbish bin outside school, and my principal had to carry me out. Mommy, my power.
She sat quietly and very still. We could see the tears streaming down her eyes. I thought she'd never stop crying. He blamed it on the other woman. Said it was an accident, a mistake. But the phone rang a second time a few years later. It was the same woman. I hated him.
I hated her.
I loved him. His name was Velvet.
A Dalmatian named Claire. She had sourced a stag and she was very old.
That's why he was always tired.
One day his sores got infested and festered. She died.
He went to sleep and never woke up. Maybe I shouldn't have tried to sit on him all the time. He only had 3 legs.
I miss being small enough to sit on a dog. I think maybe I did love her because I felt so awful when Claire died. There was a day the flood came. Monsoons in Bangalore meant the canals would flood. The canal ran through our garden, and I would watch as the garden turned into a lake, and the house in the middle, like a ship. My cousins and I prepared for the monsoons weeks in advance. We emptied the house of paper and went out to the swing to fold books.
I imagine if I were to swing hard and high enough, I'll make a full circle around the bar.
I imagined that if I sat on a hopscotch mat and closed my eyes, it would magically transport me to some faraway place. But when I opened my eyes, I was still in my room.
The playground was all I ever needed. You always find a new friend there. There's always enough sand to build you a castle, a fort, a country, another world. A swing that took you closer to the sky. Mommy will always be there, looking down at you from the balcony. It was safe. Those were the simpler times. It was so much easier to be happy. Whatever happened to those days, when the playground was all you ever needed.
One by one, we fed each horse. Most of them, they never had a chance. A few managed to drift along for a little bit, and there will always be one that put up a brave fight to stay afloat. But inevitably, they would all sink. The morning after, my cousins and I would roam the gutters in search of our boats. But we could never find them.
guys.
So, are you happy?
I feel better.
Sometimes. Maybe. Only when I'm with her.
I try to be.
Uh-huh.
There's no way out.
Yes, I am.
I think so.
One by one, we set people.
Let's get lost.
Big one was all here.
Sunday was very nice feeling. I wish I was somewhere else.
Transport me to some faraway
Sunday
place.
was very nice feeling. Sunday was very nice. You and your photographs of boats. That repeated metaphor for departure. Or simply, the possibility of voyage.
Big one was all
What you cannot tell me, you tell me. With a vessel and a single passenger, eyes fixed in some sky-lit conclusion, set apart and starkly upon a canvas of tractable waves, brought to still by the trigger flick of your camera, like the sound the key makes when it releases the lock. Your heart became that lock. These images are how you have always articulated distance or withdrawal. Darling, there are just as many ways of saying goodbye as there are ways of letting you go. The boat is narrow, like the width of my heart, after impossible loss, cruel resignation. Love, if this is how you choose to leave me, let me let you. Let's get lost.